So as you guys may know, I've been seeing it in the comments a lot, so I decided to make a video. You know, LA's on fire right now. At least a lot of areas of LA, around LA, you know what I'm saying? But I find it interesting that this is a phenomenon that happens every year. Apparently there's these winds that come through, these big gusts of winds. And let's keep it real. We're in the middle of a dry ass desert, low key, next to some water or some shit. But I'm talking, you know, we know this happens. The winds come through apparently every time, and every time we have this issue. And even on Joe Rogan, he was saying, or somebody on his podcast list was saying, it would just take the perfect wind and the perfect fire to cause a major situation. And that's what happened this year. That's exactly what happened this year. And I find it interesting that the mayor would pull back on something that you know is a problem each and every year. But we're going to get to her later. First, let's just look at the map real quick. This is the map. Now, everybody's heard of the Palisades. They completely burned down, completely wiped out, burnt to a crisp. But that's not the only fire that's happening. As of the time of this article, there were 6 fires, bro. 6 happening all at one time. The biggest being the Eaton fire and obviously the Palisade fire. But if you look at the map, look at these 2 major fires right here. What's below it? We have Hollywood Hills and we have Los Angeles. Now, listen. I'm not the doomsday guy, but I'm saying if things really got out of control, who knows what LA would have looked like. Luckily, it seems like today things are kind of coming under control, but that's mainly because the winds let up. That's mainly because Mother Nature was like, today, we're not going to do it today. That was because y'all got lucky, bro. And I find it interesting, bro. I keep saying this. I found it interesting that the insurance companies pulled out so much insurance policies right before this happened. Now, there's conspiracies going around saying that this was purposeful, you know, man-made. But this is what I think happened. I think this possibly, the Palisade situation possibly happened naturally. But then everybody else started seeing this and thinking about, okay, what could we come up on if this burns down or if that burns down? Because now there's people apparently getting arrested for arson. There's homeless people lighting shit on fire. It's like kind of spreading now. But back on point, I just find it interesting that the insurance companies decided to back out of a lot of policies right before this situation happened. And if you're smart and you look at the writing on the wall, a lot of people knew this was bound to happen. Probably not in this scale, but a lot of people knew this shit was bound to happen. But anyway, let's move over to our wonderful mayor, because apparently she wasn't even in the state when this situation happened. Let's hear what the mayor had to say when she first landed.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up, please? I appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
She's standing there, looking like she needs to take a shit, bro. She looks constipated. That's the most I'm guilty face ever. You know what I'm saying? And not like guilty like she planned something, but that's just the most I'm incompetent face I've ever seen. Now, I know, listen, the news jumped you at the airport. So let's look at this on both sides. The news jumped you on the airport. You can't even get out of the little tube that takes you out of the airplane properly before the news is all up in your face. You're the mayor of LA, okay? Say something. Oh, you know what? Like such and such to the families were so some to the fam. She didn't say jack skiddly shit. She just stood there like she needed to take a shit and let them ask her the question over and over. Again, you want to have clearly she wants to have her little statement written out because she did speak later on. But I feel it's just so like, you know, she's going home to her mansion next to her infinity pool, and she's about to stress about this over a nice cocktail with some olives inside of that shit. That's how I imagine her stressing about this whole situation. But anyways, let's back this up 2 seconds.
Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up, please? I appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
She could say something. We will fight. We will rebuild. We will. And that's pretty much all she says. Oh, we'll rebuild. Yeah, stand behind me as we rebuild. That's what she's about to say. It only took her a full ass day to say something. It's like, ma'am, say something. You look stupid, in my opinion. You look stupid. Man, listen.
No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Look at her getting her little communication. She's like, oh, okay, I have to go through the reporters. Damn it. Okay, I'll go through the reporters. Look. He's like, no, you have to go around. You can't come through this door. You have to go around. You see what the sign says? It says no exit, Madam Mayor. I'm sorry. Look at it. She's like, oh, I have to go around. Listen, I'm giving her shit because apparently, and this is going all over social media, so don't quote me on it, but apparently fire hydrants weren't shitting water out. They weren't spitting water out. Nothing was working. They have a metric on Twitter showing how much she cut in terms of fire services and emergency aid in terms of fires and that. She cut that shit out. She was like, what do we need that for? It's not like we live in a desert or anything like that where it never rains. What do we need fire protection for? Listen, she fumbled. She fumbled this situation. And I mean, honestly, bro, who else is there to blame? Well, there's a lot more people to blame, but let's continue. Let's see her great return. Running through the crowd. Look at her. She's running through the crowd.
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
Ma'am, hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Yeah, so that's how that went. And keep in mind, a lot of these people, their insurance claims are not going to pay out. They're not going to pay out. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, bud. You get a big boom for that, Like, it's not, a lot of people are not going to get their insurance paid out.
Crews have reported some progress in Los Angeles, but upwards of 100,000 people are still under evacuation orders. Officials have confirmed at least 11 people have died, but say it's not safe yet to assess the true total. Maribel Gonzalez has more.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass vowing an aggressive push to rebuild from the devastating LA County wildfires.
My office is leading the city effort to clear the way. Red tape, bureaucracy, all of it must go.
But rebuilding plans will come second to containing the blazes, which are still spreading. A red flag warning for high winds expired Friday evening, raising hopes firefighters can make headway on some of the largest fires. But the flames have already scorched a massive area, roughly the size of Miami. Authorities say upwards of 10,000 structures were likely damaged or destroyed by just 2 of the fires, and those preliminary figures could rise. Complicating rebuilding plans is California's insurance crisis. State officials say between 2020 and 2022, insurance companies declined to renew 2.8 million homeowners.
And you see, that's the point right there. That's the point. And is it the insurance people's fault or the mayor's fault? Or the city's fault, you know what I'm saying? Because yes, insurance companies, we know this. They're fucking demons. They're devils. They're little demons. They're little minions who just don't give a fuck about you. You pay them your money and nothing. Let's not say that. Let's hope that we pay them more money and we get what's coming to us. But they saw the writing on the wall. How come the city didn't see that? How come we're cutting firefighter funding and budgeting when the insurance company could see it coming in 2020? They thought that shit was going to happen in 2020. It's 2025 now. They thought that shit was going to happen 5 years ago. They saw it. Well, how couldn't you see it? You know what I'm saying? It's poor planning. It's poor city management, in my opinion. Because ain't no way, bro. I know there's a thing called, I know you can't contain some fires, but literally they said people just had to sit there and watch it happen. You can't do nothing about it. Anyways.
In the state, including more than 500,000 in Los Angeles County. With an eye to this, California's insurance commissioner exercised his moratorium power.
We are ready to meet this moment.
The commissioner issuing a bulletin to protect homeowners impacted by the Palisades and Eden fires from non-renewals and cancellations by insurance companies for 1 year.
My immediate goal is to make sure that we get the claims paid as quick as possible and that we get people on the road to recovery as quickly as we can.
So, this is my city. I want to cover this. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think this was a planned fire? Do you think this was just something that was bound to happen since we never had the proper funding to fight against it? Do you think, I don't know, if we had the proper funding to fight the fires, do you think the same thing would have still happened? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I just think that video with the mayor coming back and having nothing to say is really telling on how they feel about the people they oversee. They pass certain policies to get certain things for themselves. I don't think most of these politicians really care or give a fuck about the people. To keep it 100, I feel like most people who actually care about their city, tragedy ends up happening to them mysteriously, Maybe they tripped over the ledge at a really tall building. I don't know, but I just feel like the corrupt people are the ones who stay in power for a really long time. And whenever there's someone who actually gives a fuck about their city or wants to do something drastically good for the city, something tragic happens to them, But anyways, I'm gonna keep my eye on this story. We'll see what happens. I think today is gonna be the last day, hopefully, for fires that are completely out of control. But we'll see. But for now, check out how the Palisades looks. Complete destruction. It looks like a third world country. The entire Palisades is destroyed. Gone. Off the fucking map, bro. Off the map. And this could have been a lot worse, bro. I'm telling you, this shit, it could have been a lot worse. And this was bad. But anyways, people, I love you guys. I'm going to check in with you guys later on. Stay inside, stay safe. If you live in LA, stay extra safe, man. If you gotta go, if you get an evacuation, just leave. Don't worry about it. Your life is more important. But this is some crazy shit, man. Welcome to 2025, y'all.